fill the hungry with good things.
Hi, Steve here with today's Advent Door. He has filled the hungry with good things. So sings Mary as part of her song. And our temptation is to spiritualise this. He, God, has filled the spiritually hungry with spiritually good things. And we might want to do this because we certainly find promises like that elsewhere in the Bible. Plus, it's also not so easily measurable if it's spiritual. And yet you can only really have this in a spiritual sense if you have the next bit in a spiritual sense too, which we'll look at tomorrow. The rich he has sent away empty. Does God really send away the spiritually rich? It won't do to spiritualise this, I'm afraid. But if what this really means is that God has filled those who are hungry for food with things which are good for them in a physical sense, then why are so many across our world living in poverty, including in our own nation? Mary's words ring somewhat hollow, do they not? God should be in the dock over this. What Mary sings of is what God has done through the political arrangement of ancient Israel, which he himself instituted, a theocracy in which God is king and God ultimately determines what is law. And the law of ancient Israel robustly defended the rights of the poor and the marginalised and made provision for the widows, the orphans and the refugees. And it was up to the people of God in that theocracy to ensure that that law was kept and its statutes obeyed. Our political system may now be quite different, but it still is up to the people of God to make sure that this protective agenda of God is still held high. What can we do? Well, we can of course give to charities and food banks. But is that it? Is that where our responsibility ends? Well, I don't think so, because what Mary is ultimately talking about is what God achieved through a particular political system. Our political system is different. It invites our participation. Well, we very desperately need more social and affordable housing in this country. How will we participate in that? Will we get involved in ensuring that it happens in our area, or will we default to NIMBYism like everyone else, essentially putting our own interests first while still claiming to be Christian? Anti-poverty campaigners are calling on the government to retain the 12-month uplift to universal credit after it is due to end next April. A decision will be taken on that next month. Our members of Parliament's arms are strengthened if we write to them about such things. And this is really just a start. There is more we can do than just sending money, useful though that is. And if we think we are the people of God, then we do have a duty to play our part in making sure that the hungry are filled with good things.